All right, taking a live look at Las Vegas tonight, where the Zags took on St. Mary's in the WCC Tournament Championship just hours ago. That's also where our sports team is tracking both the men and women tonight. Here is Sports Director Travis Green and sports reporter Andrew Quinn with a look back at today's games.
Well, it's not often you can say this, but the sight of confetti just might make a Gonzaga fan sick to their stomach after today's WCC Tournament Championships.
That's right, Travis. For the first time in 5 years, there will be no Gonzaga party in Las Vegas.
Crazy. Well, we'll start with the men. The trilogy of the rivalry between Gonzaga and St. Mary's, of course, these two split the regular season series. Graham Ike would start fast, scoring the first two Gonzaga buckets, but he would get into foul trouble early, which would really hurt the Bulldogs. Mitchell Saxon, well, he would take advantage. A big game for him, 19 points and 15 rebounds. St. Mary's would take a 31-27 lead into the locker room after an Augustus Marciulionis three. Marciulionis had 13 on the night. Second half, the Zags would get momentum from the team's spark plug. Ben Gregg knocking down a triple to get within 5. And later in the half, Anton Watson would go on a personal 6-0 run to give Gonzaga a 52-51 lead. Watson had a team-high 18. But as was the case all night, the Gales would respond, and this play indicative of the night. Offensive board leads to an Aiden Mahaney three to get the lead back to 6 with under 5 to play. And St. Mary's would start pouring it on late. Mahaney has a game-high 23 points, and the Gales out-rebound the Zags by 17, Andrew. St. Mary's takes the tournament title 69-60.
Ultimately, the Zags would succumb to the Gales' physicality tonight. Mark Few and his team spoke postgame about that big rebound differential.
Mostly it was just, physical game, and Saxon's a big, strong guy, and Forbes is big and athletic, and I think they did a good job of exploiting that.
Forbes and Saxon, they're good rebounders. Kind of just sit next to the hoop, and they're strong. So yeah, definitely. I didn't even know Saxon had 15 rebounds, but yeah, we got pounded on the glass.
They were more physical than us, beat us to more loose balls, made the extra effort plays that we normally make, and a little sloppy with the ball a little bit, and they just went on a little run, couldn't finish out towards the end.
It was a bloodbath, and credit to them. They did a great job, and we just didn't come out with it.
And as for the women, it felt like 2023 out here in Vegas, a case of deja vu.
Yeah, once again, the Zags in a tough battle with Portland, but unfortunately, the Zags once again unable to get over the hump.
As we know, the Zags steamrolled their way through the WCC in the regular season. There was no domination tonight. Pick things up in the fourth quarter because that's what it all came down to. Big three from Brenna Maxwell early in the fourth for a 51-50 Gonzaga lead. But all day, the Pilots had an answer, and oftentimes it was Spangle native Maisie Burnham, and one bucket puts the Pilots back up. Burnham had 15 points. Yvonne Ejim led all scorers with 17. Bucket here puts the Zags back up top, 62-61 with 3:30 left to go. Fast forward, under 2 minutes left. It's the Pilots taking the lead back again. Amy Shearer with a triple to give Portland a 67-64 lead. Shortly after, a big time for Kaylin Trong to get things going. She did in the final minutes, knocks down the jumper to cut it to a 1-point deficit. It would be scoreless until the final seconds. Gonzaga would have a final chance to win it down 1. Kaylin Trong would have to settle for a 3, and it falls short. It happens again. The Zags fall to Portland in the championship game, 67-66.
So it's heartbreak once again for the Gonzaga women down here in Las Vegas, but the team reiterated post-game that they are much different than last year's team, and they'll grow from this loss heading into March.
We're not this bad defensively, and we're not this bad offensively. And so call it what you want. I did think that our offense was going to at some point carry us, because that's what's been our strength a lot of the year, has been our offense. And we just couldn't quite get the consecutive, a score and then a stop and then a score.
We lost. It sucks. It's basketball. It's March. It comes with the gig. No one really goes undefeated ever. But it's just how we bounce back from this is what's going to show us and make of this team.
I think if anything, we're a different team than we were last year, and we have a different mindset and obviously different experience as well, and I think that will help feed into our preparation going into March Madness, especially after this game.
So the Zags will not be returning to Spokane with any hardware, and now both teams must play the waiting game for Selection Sunday to find out where they will be playing in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that'll wrap up our WCC tournament coverage out here in Las Vegas. For Andrew Quinn, I'm Travis Green.